Alright, so I got a couple things that I'm going to do today, and just record it while I'm doing it, just to kind of show you what my process is. So right now, one thing before I get into some different stuff, I just wanted to talk real quick about the Lunar New Year event that's going on right now. I know that a lot of people were kind of upset, and I think it was a little over exaggerated, but there were some aspects of this that I didn't like. But they did make some changes. They were quick changes. I'll give them credit for making some quick changes. But the thing I don't like about the event is that participation for the Alliance is kind of public. So right now, I mean, I spent 1,000 cores, and that was very whaley. Right now, I'm trying to get some red stars on Jubilee and kind of doing some stuff that I wouldn't normally be doing. Basically 900 of those 1,000, I bought two red star orbs, and not having very good luck there. I opened a couple Elite 4s and I think an Elite 5, and I haven't got her. I don't have anything better than 2 red stars on her right now. So my theory is that red stars are kind of controlled by quote-unquote quotas that they're trying to hit. So I mean, I think everybody was going pretty hard for Jubilee since she's legendary, and I think it's going to be harder to get red stars on her because I think that there are probably a lot of people that used Elite 6 credits on her and got her, and that kind of throws off the ratios a little bit. So that's kind of my theory on why I can't get red stars, but I could get red stars for every other character. But you know, that could be completely wrong. But yeah, I haven't had very good luck with her. But one good thing that I do see that could potentially come out of the way this Lunar New Year event is set up is if they would change this. I guess that's my alarm to blitz. I don't know if I did my math wrong, but I think I can get in. Well, I know that I can only get in one more before the Bishop event's over, so that's what I'm going to be doing here next before I change some save squads. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. I like that if they could take this Alliance milestone, or like right now we're spending cores, if they'd transition that to real-time arena and do it based on knockouts, I think it would be a lot of fun. I hope that's really where they're going direction-wise with leagues and real-time arena. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I don't think the spending cores event's all that fun. I get it. You know, I like that they're trying something new, but I would have rather seen it just structured a little bit differently. Having it be an Alliance milestone, I mean, it is kind of, it's definitely geared toward alliances that spend a lot of money, and I know that they've got to make a profit, so I get it. But I just think they could have done it differently, structured it a little bit differently. I forget where I was going exactly with that thought. But yeah, anyway, hopefully they can kind of make some changes and adapt that into a way to save or help real-time arena. I think that would be kind of cool. So I mean, we'll just look in here real quick. So I mean, again, like I don't even like that being shown that I'm like I always am toward the top of my Alliance, but I actually have 3 more that I could be at the top of the list if I wanted to, but I don't know. We have some free-to-play players in here that are pretty high level, and I just don't want to mess with the dynamic of our Alliance for this event. So anyway, the milestones, like it would be really cool if there was a 5 red star Jubilee unlock and your Alliance had to work together to get that. I'm really hoping that we do enough work. I think we're going to get close. I'd really like to hit milestone 20 so that we get those microdots, but I'd be happy with 18. I don't know. I'd kind of like to get to 18 to get that 5. Probably won't do that before Jubilee leaves the Red Star orbs, but again, really trying to get some red stars on her. So anyway, let's get in my last blitz. I've already set a personal best before this last round. And I'm not sure if this is my 7th or 8th of the day. I think I might have messed up and only got in 7, but I might have gotten an extra one in last night. I can't remember. So I'm going to look at that after I'm all said and done. But we're going to go through. I don't know how that works. Well, we're going to find out here. Because I think this is maybe my 8th, and I don't think I normally do or get an 8th in all the time. Some of the time it's only 7. This is the first event where I've been setting an alarm for 2 hours. Yeah, so we'll see how this happens. 25.6 million, that's a ton. That's probably, it's not toward the top, but it's probably good enough for that 2 to 3% range. Get me 55 bishop shards, which would be nice. Since I've already spent some money on him. Pulled 5 red stars on him, so wanted to kind of wail on him a little bit and get him up to speed. But anyway, we're going to run through this real quick. This will be my last blitz, because the next refresh for me will be right after 4 o'clock. It'll be right after the server reset, so I won't get any more in, but this might be my 8th. So this is a hybrid that's just been working pretty well for me. I've kind of experimented with how to use Ultron, and basically, especially as high as I have Ultron, it's kind of any 4 characters, and my Fantastic Four hasn't been super effective in Blitz, so this kind of just makes sense. And then I've also kind of been using this as a war offense team right now. This is my ideal DD4 team, and especially when I get 5 red stars on Ultimus after my timed run through Dark Dimension 3, I think this team is really going to come together. This is actually one of the teams that I'm going to switch up and save squads after we're done. So right there, punched up against symbiotes, like that's pretty huge right there. Actually, I'm going to take a screenshot of that. That was a pretty decent punch up right there. So I like this team a lot. I think this is kind of an endgame cosmic team. And I think I'm going to be a little bit more patient in Cosmic. And I'm definitely going to take either Hela or Ultimus into Dark Dimension 4. I'd like to take Ultimus, but I'm planning to take Thor. So Hela might make more sense. But I plan to not go with more than 1 mutant and global. Probably be Frost, maybe Sinister. Still got some work to do on both those characters, but definitely plan to take up Longshot and Shatterstar together. I've been really targeting Gravitonium. And then I really need another red star on Captain Marvel, but I just think this team's really nice. I like this team a lot, and it's what I want to build long term. I'm also starting to bring up Ronan and Korath a little bit more. I pulled 5 red stars on them. And if I can add a 5th on Captain Marvel, that would be a pretty ridiculous Kree team. So they're going to factor into the mix also. If I decided to go this route, also the Kree are a pretty diverse team in the way that Wave 1 Avengers are. So those kind of like big 5 Kree, you'd have 2 Mystics and Ultimus and Ronan. You'd have a Tech and Korath. You'd have Bio and Captain Marvel, and another Tech and Minerva. But it's not quite as diversified as Wave 1 Avengers. But if you're looking for a diverse team, I'm kind of looking for teams with synergy, teams that I'm going to like after Dark Dimension 4. And I just think that the Kree are going to make sense, especially since I've invested a little bit in Ultimus to get him up to almost Gear Tier 14. I don't have any T4s on him yet, but especially when I get those red stars on him following Dark Dimension 3, I think that team's really going to come together. This My Black Order's not really super built up, but it beats anything in Blitz. Same thing really with this Uncanny team. I think I'm going to pull Beast off this team finally. I've done a slight upgrade with Psylocke. I think I'm going to be able to switch them out. This is still probably my favorite overall team. I moved Ms. Marvel off of this team recently, but I'm thinking about putting her back in here in Quake's spot. I've been doing a ton of work on my Wave 1 Avengers right now. This is potentially my Dark Dimension 4 squad. I know that you only need 4. Rhodey, War Machine is kind of the 5th man at this point, but I'm probably going to go with the other 4 for sure. Hawkeye, I just put a 5th red star on him yesterday, so I'm pretty sure that he's going to go. There was an outside chance I was going to take Ultron instead of Hawkeye and kind of use Ultron in place of both Hawkeye and War Machine, but I just think that this is probably going to be a better strategy for me. This 5 right here will be a really good war offense team for me. So that's what I'm thinking about right now. I think I'm going to go those 4 Wave 1 Avengers are going to be my first 4 into Dark Dimension. Thor will only be able to help on the first 3 nodes, but I just think that this is a really cost-effective way to start Dark Dimension 4, and especially since I kind of have an expensive cosmic team that I'm trying to build. Kind of getting a good global team in there that has a lot of synergy that will kind of be able to advance a little bit every day and be a little bit cheaper so I can save kind of some materials for my cosmic team. I plan to go kind of cosmic heavy after Dark Dimension 4, but as I was kind of alluding to earlier, I kind of have a long-term strategy right now, and I'll get to that more after I'm done with Blitz. Okay, just put a 4th red star on Anti-Venom after I beat Dark Dimension 3. I should have won. Didn't see how high leveled up that was. Wasn't really paying attention. Also put a 4th red star on Strife just to help this team out again. He was definitely the low-hanging fruit. I think you need a lot of red stars on him since he's kind of the tank of this team. You don't need it. I mean, I'd rather have any of the other characters powered up, to be honest, but he just was a little bit, his standard deviation was a little bit too high power-wise, and kind of had to do something to bring him back up. And there are a ton of mutants right now, especially with the introduction of the new Astonishing X-Men. So I'm really not trying to spend mutant gear. So kind of the red star, even though it was kind of an expensive decision, just kind of made sense. Now I've at least got 4 on everybody on this team. I'm getting to the point where I only have a couple 3 red stars left. And the good thing about Dark Dimension 3 is I feel like I kind of covered everybody that I kind of needed to get. 3s that I needed to get up to 4s, and 4s that I needed to get up to 5s. And, hopefully Dark Dimension, the time run through, I'll get some of those gold promo credits, and, maybe I put, I'll probably get a 5th red star here on Sinister before too long. He'll probably be in my discussion for my next red star promotion. And then, maybe I'll use the 6th either on Frost or Sinister. I kind of thought I was going to go the Sinister route because that's the way a lot of the early Dark Dimension 4 teams were looking, but I'm not sure that I need them, and since I'm going with a fully synergized Wave 1 Avengers team, and I think I might try to save the mutant gear for Longshot and Shatterstar and Cosmic. But that's all still pretty far off. This was a little bit too much of a punch up. There wasn't a good that wasn't a good decision. I didn't really notice Emma Frost. I wouldn't have picked that normally. Recently changed this up a little bit. Took War Machine off this team and kind of flipped Iron Man on my Wave One Avengers team with War Machine, and just since I think War Machine's probably gonna, since Iron Man's a legendary character, I think War Machine, just because of the material that I have a lot of hammer tech. So I've got those gear tier 13 pieces, 14 pieces, and probably I haven't really used any since Pyro early on. And I don't know, it's going to be tough between Ghost and War Machine. I actually just bought the Superior Gear Super Draft Orbs or whatever that were in the store yesterday. They're $10 a piece, but 1/3 of the hidden offer price on those Superior Unique pieces. And it gave me 40 quantum energy, which was, that's a pretty good deal. I think that works out to about, 72,000 per one piece. 40 pieces is almost 3 million gold. So that wasn't a terrible purchase, and that saved me a lot of time and a lot of hunting and shopping. So it is kind of whaley, but those pieces are wallet farmable, and I think they're kind of the most rare in the game right now. They've made ways to get those Gear 14 mini uniques, I guess they're calling them, but still not the Superior Unique pieces for Gear Tier 13 and 14. So with the quantum energy, the kind of bottleneck or whatever that was there for me is, I want to focus on Black Bolt long term, but I don't want to forget about Ghost, because I think she's a pretty good character, pretty good controller, and she seems to be a staple on most Dark Dimension 4 teams right now. People are doing a little bit different strategy than what I'm trying to do. They're trying to one-shot. I'm just trying to get through efficiently. But she's still somebody that I'm considering. Seems like this seems like the Pimtech team's going to have Dark Dimension 4. Not the Dark Dimension 4, just Dark Dimension kind of buffs. So I think they're going to be an important team long term. I think the way that they kind of released that and kind of made them a requirement for Astonishing X-Men, I think that's always going to kind of make them be a target for me. And I don't know how I got talking about Pimtech. I forget. Also, anyway, I've changed this team up a little bit recently, and I don't even know if I've really tried it out in War or in Blitz, but I'm sure it works fine. So I'm kind of in the stage of doing hybrid teams. Again, I wasn't paying attention. That was not a very good matchup. Kind of trying to go through some of these quicker than I normally would. Plus, I'm recording and not paying as close of attention as I would be if I wasn't. I don't love any of those. This is an interesting hybrid that I kind of am working with right now. It's kind of half Shadowland, half Skill Military. I think until Moon Knight and White Tiger come out, I think this team's going to work just fine for me. Kind of be a team that I can use in War, offense, on lower level teams, and at least until I get it built up, and then I'm kind of thinking about some pieces of this for Dark Dimension 4, and didn't really like the Skill Military team as it was. So I think that I'm really only going to focus on Red Guardian out of the new wave, and then Skill Military does make my Punisher arguably better. Yeah, so four of these members on here are kind of what I'm thinking for my Dark Dimension 4 city team, and then swapping in Symbiote Spider-Man instead of Red Guardian. I know a lot of people are going to go with full symbiote teams. I might regret that, but I just think that it's a more diversified route. I don't really want to concentrate too much on symbiotes because now Astonishing X-Men are out, arguably a better raid team. So I don't know. I don't go very hard. I don't go too hard on uh, teams. My one exception was I went pretty hard on Inhumans, probably the hardest I've gone on any single team yet. But I think it also paid off. I think I was able to use Black Bolt, Crystal, who I have at 6 red stars, and Yo-Yo. They've been staples for me in regular arena and just work out well, both arena offense and defense. So I've really been liking the Inhumans. I know Black Bolt's kind of fallen off a little bit, but I still really like them. So this one, it's not so good that you can beat anything. You still kind of got to pick your target. So, yeah. Ugh. That was too much of a punch up. See, I'm just not paying attention right now. Now I'll go back to this. That should win. What? I guess I was probably Namor. Namor is just not as effective in Blitz. It's unfortunate. I've just been trying to use Namor on this Guardians team to kind of make him viable in Blitz, but it's not perfect, as you can see. I don't like any of those matchups either. This one I just unlocked Jubilee. This one's not really usable, but I'm not even going to use this one. Can I swap in here real quick? Oh, just to do something. Try it. Don't have anything to lose at this point. Since this is the last one, this is a team that I need to change. I don't like any of those. Well, it might be done. I think it's going to win this one, but we'll find out. Alright, I think that was everything. Let's see. Son of a bitch. And for my last decision, so that's interesting. So this is weird. This is weird. So normally this is my 27th team, and there's a 28th that's my DD3 Global. I wonder if I already got 8 attacks in with those characters. It's weird. What's going on there? So right now, show you what I'm talking about. The fuck? Did I delete it? That's weird. So there aren't 30 teams here. There should be one right above the team that starts with Thor. There should be my mutant villains. And I know I didn't delete it. Oh, you know what? I was trying to move it up earlier and it was not working for me. Oh, I feel like the animation with this is weird, or they changed it or something. They did it so that like you don't have to scroll up, which is fine. It's actually kind of an improvement, but it's just weird. I'm not used to it. So all I was doing, oops, I just fucked this up. I actually liked the old way better. What just happened there? I don't know. I don't know that I like. The change is better, but I don't know that I liked it. It took me a little bit to figure out exactly what was going on. So anyway, what was I talking about? I'm gonna see if. So I basically have one. I've got one attack left, basically. I think I'm just gonna use this team. And just do this, I guess. So that's going to take care of me for this blitz. Almost 27 million is really high. That should firmly put me in the 2 to 3% range. And then I know that you can only fight like 8 times or eight like passes. Actually, I didn't use this team. That's what I thought I saw when I was looking for other people. These are all kind of tough matchups. Let's see how this one does. Nice. Okay, now we're done. I got really close to 27 million. So I think I only got in 7 today. I think I messed up. Again, I don't get in 8 very often, so it is what it is. But I think when you do that, I think it locks you out like for the rest of the day. So like the timer would be more than 2 hours. So I think I only got in 7. I'm kind of messed up because, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just didn't get started enough early this morning. I don't want to make it like a job. So, I mean, I have been setting alarms or timers for this event, but I don't really want to do that. Kind of just want to play it casually, but my total collection power is probably getting to the point where I can kind of start to do that soon, kind of scale back a little bit. So on the topic of scaling back, most people kind of have a 16-man plan for Dark Dimension 4. I kind of have an 18-man plan. If you're interested in that, I talk about that more in my live stream from Friday, from February 12th. But I'm going to discuss it briefly and kind of show you. I kind of have 30 players here selected where, if I had to only pick 30 to focus on, these would be my 30. And I have spent more money than I'm not free to play. I've spent some decent money on this, especially in the last 6 months with the pandemic, especially with everything shut down in LA. There's not really a whole lot going on, so this has kind of been my entertainment. But I don't really want to spend at the rate that I have been forever. I'm probably spending a little bit too much these days. So if I had to scale back and do a much smaller roster, these are kind of the characters that I would be focusing on. And then I'm going to kind of explain really quickly why these 30 And it's going to be a different 30 for everybody. This is just what makes sense in terms of where I am in the game and my specific roster makeup. Red Stars really kind of drives more than it should. It's both a good and a bad thing. Kind of have a love-hate relationship with Red Stars right now because I kind of need 4 or 5 to kind of make the players playable early on. That's why I'm really kind of disappointed about Astonishing X-Men. So I wailed, and because I got 5 Red Stars on both Iceman and Bishop, I bought shards on those. Both the Blitz events are going on right now. I'll probably get another 55 on Bishop. Hopefully another 76 following that in the next Blitz. Be just short of 5 stars. Probably have to buy some smaller offer to get the last few shards. Actually, might be able to get them through the Alliance milestones for this lunar event, but we'll see. But I'm going to do what I have to. I only think I'd need like 10 more. So if we get that out of the milestone, actually maybe I only need 4 more or something small like that. I can't really do that math real quick in my head, but yeah, I only need a couple more, I think, at my level to really get him up to 5 stars. Should have no problem getting Iceman up to 5 stars. So it will be kind of nice that I kind of have this team will kind of all be around the same level, which is why I think I'm not going to go any higher with Beast at this point. I was kind of thinking about taking him up to Dark Dimension 3. I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. But I'll probably take him up to 13, but won't take him up to 14. But we'll see. I need to strike the right balance between that team. But anyway, so that's why I'm kind of disappointed with the Red Stars and Jubilee at this point, because if I had even 4, this would be a really serious team for me for a while. And, I mean, she'll eventually hit the Elite Store, and she'll probably be my focus whenever she does that, but who knows when that's going to happen. That could be a little bit down the road. So kind of back to what my Dark Dimension 4 strategy and beyond, and I kind of did, I don't know what I'm doing. I kind of did this with Doom Raids in mind also. And also because some of these I don't really have, are decisions that I have to kind of hammer out. But this is kind of my long-term strategy. So the ones that are favorited right now are really the only ones that I'm considering for Dark Dimension 4. But I am definitely going to be doing, I think for my first 3 are going to be Widow, Captain America, and Thor, who's not on this, but then my 4th would be Hawkeye, so that would be Wave 1 Avengers minus Iron Man or Hulk. I just think that there's going to be enough synergy in there and enough control with Black Widow and Hawkeye to get the job done in Dark Dimension 4. From what I kind of gather from talking, I think there's one other guy in my alliance that's going through Dark Dimension 4 right now, and I follow all the envoys on YouTube. OMG, Tana, Reminex, Valley Flying, Dutch Rudder a little bit, all those guys. And it just kind of seems like Dark Dimension 4, if you take up a team with good synergy, with, some abilities, with some good red stars, that you can pretty much make a little progress every day, which is really the way I'm trying to do these. I'm not trying to do one-shots. I've seen a lot of people take up Symbiote Spider-Man, Sinister, Thanos, Zemo, and Ghost is their first 5, and that's a very late game roster, in my opinion. And I just don't have enough stars or red stars on those characters to do that strategy. I'm still kind of Ghost and Sinister are in the picture for me, but the other 3 aren't. Symbiote Spider-Man down the road, but not early on. So I plan to take up, with the exclusion of Thor, 4 of my first 5 characters will be global characters. So I kind of plan to do it pretty linearly, which is something that I haven't really tried to do, and I did not do it at all for Dark Dimension 3. Kind of wish I had. So I think that this is just going to be a better long-term strategy for me. I don't really regret any Dark Dimension 3 decisions. Ultron maybe wasn't the something that I had to do super early. I don't really regret that because I got to use him a lot in Arena. But he's probably not going to be early Dark Dimension 4 for me. But I still like to use him on Arena offense. I kind of have a good team that can beat Black Order about 50-50, and it includes Ultron. But as I work on Frost or Sinister, maybe one of those can replace Ultron. But that team actually happens to be Phoenix, Black Bolt, Crystal, Yo-Yo, and Ultron. Just works really well against Black Order at the power level that I have. So doing a Wave 1 Avengers strategy, Widow, Captain America, Hawkeye will be in there for sure, and then either kind of leaning toward War Machine just because I'd really like to save the quantum energy for Black Bolt. Maybe I can kind of swing and slingshot and be one of the first people that gets Black Bolt to tier level 16. So maybe I hold on to those quantum energy for Black Bolt down the road. And who knows how many or if he's going to take any of that at gear tier 16, but I'm kind of just thinking out loud there. And then my first mutant will, if I can't get through global without taking a mutant, will be either Frost or Sinister. But as I said, I think I'm going to try to not use any mutant gear in global and use it in cosmic. For my first wave through, I'm really only trying to get a maximum of 5 out of this group. And then obviously Phoenix is going to be one of my legendaries. I'm almost positive about it. She and Black Bolt are probably 2 locked characters for me. So here's kind of the 12 that I'm focusing on for global. 12 is kind of just an arbitrary number. It's just kind of how it shook out. But what my kind of long-term strategy is I'm looking for a legendary or milestone character. So like a milestone character like Symbiote Spider-Man or Frost, and then I'm basically trying to build more of a silo than a flat team. This is long-term, but so there's my globals. Mutant. So again, these are in pairs. Phoenix and Phoenix and Colossus, the 2 Dad Bros, and Longshot and Shatterstar. And I wasn't going to split it this way. I was going to do Cosmic. I'll be back through that later and show you why this whole picture kind of makes sense. So here's my Cosmic team. Again, my ideal for Dark Dimension 4 at this point would be the Kree 3, so Ultimus, Captain Marvel, and Minerva. Minerva is probably a staple for me on my team. She's really my only, I guess, lock for Dark Dimension 4. But I've been going after Gravitonium pretty hard. I think I've got enough right now to get one Dad Bro up to 15 and one up to 14, so I'm going to eventually try to get both of them up to 15. Need a little bit more though, but still got a ways to go. And then because I'll go Thor early on. I may end up going Hela over Ultimus, and if I went Hela over Ultimus, then it would be Thor, Hela, Minerva, Shatterstar, and Longshot, which I think would be a very nice team. But if I went Ultimus over Hela, then I would probably add in Captain Marvel and do an additional character. That I would actually use 6 characters for. Does that work out to 6? Yeah, Thor, Minerva, Dad Bros, Captain Marvel, Ultimus. Yeah, so I would have 6 potentially for Cosmic, which that doesn't really bother me. Again, I kind of plan to go Cosmic heavy after Dark Dimension 4. The only thing with that is BioGear is kind of at a premium since everybody kind of wants to take up symbiotes. Again, I'm probably not going to be doing it that way. I might take up Anti-Venom, but kind of as I'll explain here in a little bit. I kind of have a different plan for city. So kind of just, never mind. So city, Doc will be my legendary character. He's only requires 3 gear tier 15 pieces. So since I won't be using a lot of tech. Won't be using a lot of tech, and I will probably only focus on 3 tech characters early on, and he'll just be my city. And then, like I said, I'm trying not to do all the symbiotes. It's just way too much bio gear, way too much alien spores. So I'm looking for more of a diversified approach. I've already built up Daredevil and Punisher just because I've liked the duo. They were early characters for me. Daredevil was either my first or second. I think he was my first, maybe. 6 red star pull. Pulled him like really early on in the game for me. And then I kind of built up Night Nurse and Elektra just since they were, I've played the game for almost 3 years and they were kind of early game characters for me that I had used. And I think we'll get some second use in the Shadowlands introduction of Moon Knight and White Tiger. I just think those are, I think, 2 characters that are going to work well for me because I've kind of skipped Black Order. I think that Shadowland team will be maybe not so much for Black Order. I think you'd have to have them all the T4s, perfect on that Shadowland team. Although I haven't even seen Moon Knight and Shatterstar, Moon Knight and White Tiger, so it's kind of hard to judge that. But I think that Shadowland team is going to be more of a counter to Marauders. Just the way some of the passive abilities and some of the abilities, just with doing less damage when brainwashed or however they word that, it'll kind of work against Loki, it'll work against Mystique and Emma on the Marauders, and so I think that that's going to be a direction I go, just kind of having a good war offense team and kind of a diversified team, especially if they're going to do. I just like the idea of diversified teams. I like teams that have synergy. I like teams that have diversified materials, and that's why I'm not going too gung ho on the symbiotes because I just think that's a tough strategy. Like going all symbiote is kind of like going all Black Order. It's just going too hard in one direction, and especially now that I think this astonishing X-Men team is probably going to be a step above symbiotes in terms of a raid team. It sounds like they were probably made for Doom raids, so that you can kind of take care of that mutant column all on your own. My alliance isn't anywhere close to that, but yeah, so that's kind of my strategy right now. City's kind of the one that's the most up in the air, and that could change, but that's kind of what I'm working on right now. So in that 30, I have 12 global, 12 cosmic, 6 city, and again, just diversification. And then to kind of look at it, not so much by territory, but to look at it by origin. Bio, I'm still bio heavy. But and this is a good mix. So I've got 3 Inhumans, 2 Fantastic Four, 2 military, and then Daredevil and Spider-Man. So just a good mix in there. I really like Inhumans. So I mean, if so many of them didn't require bio gear, especially with the kind of constraints through Dark Dimension 4. I'd probably build all them up. I actually toyed around with the idea of doing Black Bolt, Phoenix, and Ultron as my first Gear Tier 15 champs, so that I could use them and kind of get the boost in Arena. But I think I'm probably more focused on Dark Dimension 4 at the moment, and that'll probably be more a reward for getting through Dark Dimension 4. So, that's still pretty far off. But we'll see. Like, I don't know. if I took them up right away, which I could pretty much do right now with a little work, the only thing is I'd be able to use them for the first couple nodes in Dark Dimension 4, the first 3 nodes, but then I'd have to wait a long time before I could use them for Legendary, and I think that would just kind of slow me down a little bit. So, I'm doing all right in Arena right now. I'm kind of hovering just outside that 250 range. Got up to a high of 187 was my all-time high. Did that earlier in the week, probably Thursday or Friday. Fallen off a little bit, but probably haven't done enough attacks to stay in the 250 range. My defense is holding up pretty good, but I'm probably going to put maybe a T4 on Ma when I get him up to Gear Tier 14, which I should be doing soon. And then there's an outside chance that I'll get a 7th red star on him, and then he would probably be a staple for me in Arena defense. Bio heavy, but picking good bio characters. You could argue maybe Daredevil's the weakest of this bunch, but I just have built him up for a long time, and I like his kit. I like brawlers. I like just heavy hitters, and I'm just going to hold on to him. And then probably Ms. Marvel would probably be just outside this if I needed a 10th to kind of even things out in some way. Ms. Marvel would be my 10th here, but right now I'm just trying to pick, if I had to focus on 30, who would my 30 be? And just decided to go Widow over Ms. Marvel and kind of this next chapter of the game for me. Mutant. Again, I'm showing you why the 30 that I've picked are my 30. So it's kind of evenly spaced out, where each origin type would have 6 characters. I'd have at least one mutant team. So again, this is kind of a Doom Raid strategy, but could kind of mix and match with 6 and find the ultimate 5. So again, Phoenix will probably be my legendary. I'm trying to take the Dad Bros up to Dark Dimension 4 as well, and Cosmic, and then probably just one of Sinister or Frost. And, I could probably do both of them. We'll see. It's going to depend on how easily farmable Emma Frost becomes, and that War Store is crowded right now. I was planning to work on Sinister, kind of when I think I spent all the Gear Tier 14s on him, but somewhere around that line, or around that time, Minerva became or entered the War Store, and I haven't really focused on her a ton. I've probably been using my War Store credits more for Gear Tier 15 pieces and the Gear Tier 13 uniques. But eventually I'm going to focus on Sinister and Minerva, but probably more Minerva, since she's probably definitely going up to Dark Dimension 4 for me. So yeah, just some diversity there. Mystic, only 5 I'm going to focus on. Thanos would be just outside this list if I needed another one. But Elektra's in here just because I think that Shadowland team seems interesting for me based on where my roster is with a high Daredevil, and I hadn't completely ignored Night Nurse and Elektra, so I kind of have a head start there. Haven't used any of my unique, this carbon material, the orange one, so I haven't used any of that yet, so I could use that on Star-Lord, but I don't really love Star-Lord all that much. I could use that on Luke Cage, which I already have at Gear Tier 13. I could use that on Crossbones, which I was kind of considering somebody to complement Ultron. That might be more down the road. And I know that there's at least 1 or 2 others that are kind of in the running there, but haven't used any of that yet. Oh, the other one is Falcon. So I have a lot of ways that I could use that, and I think probably what makes sense for me right now is my alliance is still on U7 raids. So with the symbiotes at the level that I have them on, I can get through Ultimate 7 raids pretty easily. I forget where I was going with that. Oh, so I guess I kind of have more of a war strategy at this point. Like, not that it's hard for me. Like, usually I'm pretty decent at war, but like I'm just gonna kind of focus on some more offense teams or just excuse me, some hybrid teams that are good both ways in war. I could use either on war, offense or defense. Again, I'm trying to um, not exclusively build a more narrow roster, but that's what I'm kind of trying to do long term. So yeah, I just think with my roster, I just think that Electra is going to make some sense there. And then again, probably take up Ebony Mom, not really focusing on Black Order the way everybody else is. I haven't used any T4s on them lately, or I'm sorry, yet, and don't really plan to. You know, Proxima, she takes Gravitonium. I'd rather use my Gravitonium for Longshot and Shatterstar. Also, Moon Knight's going to use that material. And so is Yellow Jacket, so I would take all of those over Proxima, just as single characters. And then Luminium, I'd rather over Call. I would rather have Crystal, Beast, or Jubilee, any of those three. And I feel like there's another one in there. Maybe it's just those three. And then let's see, for the Tesseract, which Corvus Clave takes. I think that's the same thing that I haven't used any of that either. I don't know how much I have, but I would probably rather use that on Stature, even though she's so low. Just thinking that long term, I want to take Pimtech up because it's going to have some crazy ability at some point with these Dark Dimensions. Maybe it's even a Dark Dimension exclusive team, which would be pretty wild, but yeah, I can see them doing something like that down the road, but I feel like they've given us hints that the Pimtech team is going to be important down the road. Maybe one of the more important, maybe, or most important since Black Order. And that could be kind of what's happening now with Astonishing X-Men too. We'll find out. They could be used for the next legendary character. It's kind of hard to tell at this point. So yeah, going Thor with the Wave 1 Avengers, following that up probably either with Hela or Ultimus, Maw for defense, and Elektra for war offense. I don't know how well the synergy would work for this team in raids, but I think I'd probably be willing to get by just to use who I want. Skill, so I'm not sold on Fury yet. I'll get the 7th star on him soon. I'll probably take him up to gear tier 14 soon. The Night Nurse rework kind of put her back in conversation for me. That's kind of a Doom Raid and Shadowland edition, so that's pretty new. But Widow and Punisher are just pretty cheap. Hawkeye's pretty balanced. Doesn't do a ton of damage, but he's a good controller, especially when paired with Widow. I really like that combo. I think that's pretty fun. And then having Fury on this team, you'd get the synergy with Hawkeye and Widow, both being Shield and Avengers. There'd be some synergy there, and then Punisher because of cost, and again, I'm trying to kind of keep Punisher and Daredevil together and run some kind of hybrid with Shadowland and Skill Military, at least for right now. So I think this just makes sense. If I was going to add a 6th, it would probably be Red Guardian. Only have 5 red stars on him. I kind of wailed on him a little bit, but I just think he's going to be important long term. So I think Red Guardian and Dad Bros were the top 3 of probably this last round. I think that not Iron Man, Iceman and Kitty Pryde are more late game for Doom Raids or even U7. It probably does fine in U7. It'll be a while before I have it up to a level that does real well in U7, but we'll see. So that's skill. Again, 5 or 6, so I'm just trying to build like an even 30, like equally divided 30 to focus on if I had to do that. Then tech, Minerva's a lock for me. War Machine, probably just because he would pair well with Iron Man, kind of doing the mafia structure with, kind of the boss, and kind of War Machine being either the boss or the underboss to Stark, Iron Man. Yeah, so I'm trying to keep all the synergy in mind. And then Doc, just because he's pretty inexpensive, and he seems great. He is a pain in the ass in war right now. I'm starting to see him in war, and I was fighting against one that was only like 110,000 power the other day, and I was using like 400k plus teams trying to take him out, and couldn't, and it was really pissing me off. I don't remember what team I used to finally get rid of him, but he killed like 3 really, really good teams for me, and I haven't quite figured out what the strategy is for going against his Sinister Six team yet. It's pretty good, so even though I haven't been focusing on X-Force, I'm probably going to focus on Doc Ock. Even if it's at low red stars, or at low star level for now, power level for now. I don't want to get him too far away from his Sinister Six teammates. I actually have on my roster right now, I need to rank up Swarm and Electro, but since they've been added to the stores recently, I've been trying to build them up and use them. Well, I haven't really fought with the Sinister Six team since I unlocked Doc, but it's probably not really at that usable level quite yet, but it's getting there. It'll probably be pretty well balanced here, probably in the next month or so, within reason. So he'll get some more play later. But what I'm actually going to do here later is bust up my save squads, and yeah, I'll be making some changes there. I think one of the things I'm going to do is kind of break up my X-Force team. I don't really care about Negasonic and Domino. They're fine. I mean, that's it's a pretty good war offense team, although I just don't have really the characters at the high enough level, and I think I'm going to consolidate and not really focus on Domino or Negasonic, and I think I'm going to combine X-Force and X-Factor. I think I'm going to do a Cable, Deadpool, X-23, Longshot, Shatterstar, kind of X-Force, X-Factor hybrid. At some point, I think Forge is going to come along and make that team awesome, but that's down the road. That's total speculation. I just think that's what's going to happen, but haven't heard anybody else come up with that idea. That's just my theory. Since he has ties to X-Men, X-Force, and X-Factor, so I think he's going to be a legendary character down the road. Also think that with all these X-Men, at some point down the road, maybe not this year, but at some point Professor X is going to come along, and that's why I am focused on all the X-Men, because that's going to be awesome. That'll be awesome when that happens, and hopefully I'll be prepared for that. So here, it would be either War Machine or Ghost for me in Global, Minerva for me in Cosmic. Won't really have a city, but then Ock for Legendary, and then Ultron's just somebody I don't want to forget about. He's a trophy character. He's very, very good, and he would even be, he's probably, if I had to pick one of these 5, he'd be my first tech upgrade, but he's very expensive. He requires 5 gear tier 15 pieces, and I think that was a mistake that I made going to gear tier 14 with him so early. Didn't really help me in Dark Dimension 3. So I'm trying to avoid that mistake in Dark Dimension 4, just since he's got the long cooldown. He's not super, he was good in Dark Dimension 2. He was awesome, really. But because of the long cooldowns, he's kind of tough for these later Dark Dimensions. But yeah, I'm trying to build the right team kind of around him. I had mentioned, if I had a 6th, it would maybe be, at this point, probably Iron Man or Shuri. It'd probably do one of the other legendaries, but beyond that, like a Falcon to speed everybody up, or Crossbones to just wreck everybody. I'd like to get more red stars on Crossbones, because he was a character that I really liked early on, and I'd like to get back to. I just really like that explosion, kind of like Black Bolt's burp. I like the massive destruction. It's fun. I like to be able to just wreck people. But yeah, so again, diversified approach. My Dark Dimension 4 considerations kind of are the ones that are starred or hearted. And, again, that's how I'm going to try to use 30 characters to kind of, do a diversified approach, kind of be able to have 30 that I could focus on and kind of compete in all game modes if I really wanted to do it that way. I think 30 is pretty much the minimum that I would have to focus on. Yeah, because technically you need like 8 teams for war defense and about 10 teams for war offense. Did I say that backwards? Did I say offense twice? 8 for defense, 10 for offense. So you only need about 18 teams. If I had 30, it's only 6 teams, but I just would have lower ranked other teams, and I would be able to kind of, out of those 30, kind of accomplish most of the stuff that I would need to get done. So that's kind of where my strategy is right now. What I want to do right now, since I don't have another blitz in me. Again, I think I messed that up because I think I probably could have gotten one more in today. But whatever, I got almost 27 million. That's a new personal best for me. This will probably should be plenty enough to get me into that tier 2 to 3% rank. We'll see. So right now, I kind of just showed off my save squads a little bit when I was going through my blitz stuff, but I'm going to change this around a little bit, kind of show you what my strategy and how I've used my save squads. I really wish they would add some more slots. I know that I'm not alone in this thinking. Seems like something really easy that they could do. I don't really know why they haven't done it yet, but I really hope that they do that sometime in the first half of this year. It just kind of seems like a no-brain decision to me. At the same time, it does kind of sort of make things a little bit more competitive, because since I only have 30 slots, like if I really wanted to go the extra mile, I've kind of got to do it all manually, which is fine. It kind of helps the people with the bigger rosters from being way too powerful. So I get it. Maybe they've done the math and it just really makes a lot of sense, but I wish there were more slots. Or I wish they had it like tabbed also. Like I wish that there was a blitz section, an arena section, and a war section. So, that seems like a very easy thing for them to do. That would probably make people pretty happy. I think that they should just go ahead and do it, but I'm not the one making those calls. What was I going to look at? Oh, yeah, so I'm going to look at these save squads a little bit. So first thing I was in the process of doing was moving my Dark Dimension 3 teams. I've kind of stuck them at the bottom. Fucked this up already. What am I doing? So it kind of irritates me that they switched this around. I got used to doing it the other way. So I'm just moving these teams that I'm moving up right now are basically my dark my Dark Dimension 3 teams, or at least they were for the first run. Right now that I'm kind of in that free for all 4 nodes at the beginning, I've kind of just been using my teams to try to kind of theory craft and come up with the best answers for stuff. It's just messing me up. It changed. I know people aren't going to really know what I'm talking about, but the way that this works is different. And I had just gotten used to the other method. This is more efficient, but you kind of have to pay attention more. You used to have to do a lot more scrolling. Anyway, I'm done with probably the fun stuff for this stream, so if you're not into this kind of thing, kindly fuck off. So again, the reason why I've got my Dark Dimension 3 teams in here is not only so that I don't forget them, but I've kind of gone a little bit narrow roster, and I haven't really spread my ISO around to the lower level characters, kind of intentionally, actually exactly intentionally. But I've kind of, in doing that, some of my minion teams or like war defense teams don't really help me in blitz, so I haven't been running everybody. So I've been using the blitz energy to kind of, whenever I get into that tier 8 4x points range, I use that energy to use these teams that have a high win percentage to maximize my points. That's how I'm able to kind of get that 27 million. Is because I used all my war energy. I don't have any war energy left. I'm sorry, blitz energy. So yeah, this was kind of Sinister is probably the newest of this bunch, or I guess just the weakest of this bunch, not the newest. But this is kind of, if I had to pick, who's calling me a bitch? Somebody just messaged and called me a bitch. So thanks, Alexis Karzak. Let me type something back real quick. Fuck you if you're listening. Gotta have really nothing going on to come over and be the only one in my chat and just call me a bitch, but whatever. So yeah, I'm doing, these are my DD3s right now, or at least what I've been working on. So I wanted to change up this team. Actually, I'm going to leave this team in here, but kind of delete some of these ones on the bottom. So this one's not really working for me all that well. This one's going to, actually, this is the one I'm going to change. So I'm going to change this one to all Kree. And again, this one's not fully developed because I don't have the 5 red stars from Ultimus to kind of get the full value out of this, but I have good red stars that I pulled on Ronan and Korath. So again, if I can get a 5th red star on Captain Marvel, this team's going to be pretty ridiculous. How did I had a variation of this team before. I guess this is what I did. So here are the thought processes. Again, I don't have all the T4s. Actually, I don't have any T4s on Ultimus yet. But when I do, I think this team is just going to work a little bit better in addition with those red stars. But the thought process here is on the special for Ultimus, he gets regeneration, so I want to keep Minerva alive so that she can heal and revive people. I want to keep Ronan alive so that he can call in minions. I don't really care so much about Korath. He's kind of here just to provide balance and synergy, and I don't need Captain Marvel in the back row because she has regen herself when she's in that binary mode. So again, I'd like to add a 5th red star in her. If I did that, this would be a really even team and just work really well. But just for blitz purposes, I'm going to kind of change this around so that it just works a little bit more efficiently, I think. And then the other thing that I wanted to do was blow up this team. Again, I'm going to get rid of Negasonic and Domino. I'm going to add the Dad Bros in here. I'm not sure quite where I'm going to space everybody. I guess Shatterstar will probably go on the end. Also, my X-23 is not really built up enough to really use all that well. I'm just going to lay these in here, and I'll probably have to switch them around a little bit. Might be it. Might flip. I'm trying to think if can't remember. Shatterstar, does he have taunt or does he just have defense up? Guess maybe I'd flip these. Maybe I'd even put Longshot in the back row. Guess I could do that. Do that backwards. Wish you could just drag and drop. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that, at least to try it out. I don't know, this team looks pretty good, really. I could even switch Cable to Raider, and then this team would just be critting like crazy. I think this is a team that people aren't really thinking about right now. Because I don't think people are breaking up X-Force, but I think this is kind of an interesting team. Just going to save that. Gonna move this up in my pecking order. So what I've been trying to do is kind of do this top-down based on how either most powerful or the one that I think will win the most. I used to kind of do a bottom up. I didn't order them that way, but kind of did bottom up and blitz. I think it makes more sense to do top down, just so that you can kind of build momentum. That was something that took me a long time to kind of figure out. I mean, there are all kinds of different strategies. There are reasons when you don't want to do that, but I think I kind of get around that by kind of just jumping around. So actually I moved these guys up too far. I was going to move them down just below probably Marauders. Actually probably below Doc Ock. I think that's probably at least without the red stars on Ultimus, I think this is probably about where they would fall. Sensor 6 is going to win percentage-wise more than this team, especially right now. So I think I'm actually pretty happy with that, I think. So right now up top, I've got these DD3 hybrid teams, then just some different power level hybrid stuff. Guess I can move this one up too, because this is kind of a DD4 hybrid. So now those top 4 spots are kind of ones that I would have to spend cores on if I wanted to do it that way, because I would be using them twice because they're used below. So let's see here. I'm gonna rework these. I'm just changing the order around a little bit. So I got Dark Dimension 3 teams. I've got this Dark Dimension 4 Cosmic Goal team or whatever. Black Order. And then probably need to move this up a little bit. Then I got Black Order, Uncanny X-Men. Oh yeah, I'm going to break up Uncanny X-Men. So then I'll change this a little bit. Guess I can just straight up swap in Beast and Psylocke. I haven't really known what to do with Psylocke and Storm. Still don't really know what to do with Storm exactly. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. So I mean, probably either one of these would work. I just kind of think I like probably Storm's probably more like a raid character, and Psylocke's probably more of an arena raid character. So I'm gonna try this out, and then I'm gonna kind of build a placeholder for my Astonishing X-Men. So I took Beast out of that. Alright, so then I've got Black Order. I'll move Inhumans up in the pecking order because I moved Beast off of that team. These are super close now. And then these guys have to probably come up in my order. These are probably going to end up being... Yeah, they're good. Let's move them down. They're probably right under Uncanny right now. Might be a little bit better, more powerful, but the win percentage maybe not quite as high. Actually, I still think that they're probably above. Just Phoenix, just being a beast. Again, this Fury hybrid team's kind of goofy right now, but it works and uses pieces that I've already kind of built up. It's kind of even. I think really when I get Fury up to 7 stars, and I'm going to get Hela up to 7 stars here in the next week. So this team's going to stay intact. I think this is going to work for me for a while. Kind of helps me use Luke Cage. You know, I haven't really been able to effectively use defenders for a while, so I think this makes a lot of sense. Make an argument for maybe even moving Doc Ock above Marauders, but I'm going to leave it the way it is right now. leave it that way because I'm going to focus more on Frost and Sinister than I am Doc Ock at this point. I'll probably win more with that Kree than with the Pimtech. Pimtech's still got a ways to go. Didn't get really very good red stars on any of the 3 that were coming out. I wasn't very hyped about Pimtech when they first came out. So I've added a 4th red star on Ghost, but I don't have the red stars on Stature or Yellow Jacket. So I'm starting to use this team more. I think especially when I kind of get them all around that level that Ant-Man's at. I'll probably stop there for a while. But that's kind of the goal right now. Is with these lower level teams, I'm going to try to make it more linear. After I get my first wave into Dark Dimension 4, then I'm probably going to spread some gold around to the lower tiers of my roster, kind of make it flatter. I still kind of have my strategy on what's rising to the top, but in order to fully maximize my roster, I kind of need to level it out a little bit more than what I've got now. It's not terrible. I had to do this, I think, when I was going through Dark Dimension 3, and I think I did it pretty well. Didn't really level up a lot of minions. Stopped all the minions at level 52. None of them are gear tier 10 yet. So that's just kind of been my strategy. I'm not really focused on minions. I'm not really trying to do that wide of a roster. And I don't really like the Hydras and the AIM and all that stuff where they're pretty much just war teams, war defense teams even. And that's not the way I'm playing the game right now. That's not where my alliance is. I don't really need teams like that. I mean, there's no problem if that's the way you want to go. It's just not the strategy that I'm going. I used to really love the original Brotherhood team. I think eventually I'm probably going to reassemble that team because I know Blob's good, but I don't know. I just haven't invested enough in this team. It works fine in Blitz, wins most of the time, especially since that Magneto is so powerful. But I need to level this team out a little bit. Long term, I'd like to get Toad and Blob up to that same level. And then I think I'm also going to break up this Young Avengers team. I'm not sure what yet, though. So, what do I want to do here? Oh, I know what I was going to do. For right now, all I'm going to do is take out Ms. Marvel and put in Quake. And this is kind of just a placeholder. This is still a team that I need to put more resources into America Chavez and Squirrel Girl. Like, I just have like this bottom tier of my roster right now that, kind of level 55, gear tier 9. Quit texting me. 6, 5, 5, 4 on the abilities is kind of my stopping point, kind of my basic, or kind of my lowest used level, and I need to put some work in on the other Young Avengers. So yeah, I was going to move in Quake, just to move some stuff around. Maybe that makes this team a little bit better, actually. I don't know. And then you got 2 Raiders, 2 Strikers, and Squirrel Girl. So this works fine. This is fine. This will do. So then move this team up slightly. Actually, what did I do? They're probably good where they're at. Actually, I'll knock them down. Getting close to evening out this supernatural team, almost to the 7th red star on both Ghost Rider and Elsa, and then I think this will it'll work a little bit better. So this one's working alright for me, but it's just not a huge winner. Where's it going to move to? Actually, that's good where it is, right there. This can get moved up. It's good there. Like this one enough to move it up. This one I just started using, it's working okay. Pretty even, I think, is the reason why this one works okay. But I think it's going to stay around for a while, so I can kind of reshuffle it. Again, I'm kind of just trying to go descending power order. I just think that I have good results with that method. Not necessarily the way that I always used to do it, but I think that it makes a lot of sense. This Merc team, I need to. I wish I had another red star on Taskmaster. But I'm starting to use this again in Blitz. I've just added just marginally on Bullseye because 5 red stars. So I've just added just a little bit on him. Maybe made this a little bit better. I think I just flipped him back to this team. Like I did have Korath on it for a while, but I just moved him out. And then I guess this is the best spot for Killmonger. There's some different things that you could do with this team. I haven't really focused on the minions. The longer I focus on Taskmaster, probably the more I'll have to kind of develop this one a little bit. If there were a war team that involved minions that I wanted to focus on, it would be probably this team. Some mercenary soldiers on that new skill military team, so maybe I develop him over one of the other minions, but I like having the taunt from this dude from Rygard, and then the lieutenant just speeds everything up, and as a support character I've got healer on him. This team will probably work when I get a little bit more ISO, maybe take some minions on this team up another level. I really have been pretty disciplined about not taking any minions up above a certain level, but I'm kind of getting to the point where they're reintroducing some of these and making them more value, like the Hydra Grenade guy. I'm probably going to do a little work on him to make him work better on my Zemo Hydra team. So yeah, this works. Where was I? So then aim still probably needs some work. I think when I put the 7th star on Scientist Supreme, I think this will be just fine. Again, I don't even have all the minions up to 7 stars yet. Getting close. Only probably have about a half dozen that I still need to do some serious work on. So some of them I like in the arena store. I wasn't ever spending arena credits on those guys, but now I can probably do that. Um, yeah, so that's not really a huge focus for me though. And then this is kind of my holding spot for the Astonishing X-Men. So I'm gonna make who am I not using? Oh, I'm not using Domino and Negasonic. Maybe I can put them on this team for now. Oh, that's right. I still have Storm too. I need to find a spot for Spider-Man. Actually. Not too bad synergy-wise. I need to put something on. I need to put some kind of ISO on Jubilee. I'm not really sure what yet. It's kind of to get all the other characters unlocked before I do anything. Jubilee's it's such a low level right now too. This will be fine as a placeholder for the moment. And I'm just going to stick them down on the bottom level for now. So as you can see, I haven't really focused on these minions or these ward defense teams that are here at the bottom. Mercenary Aim and Shield. I don't have hands way out of meta for me, and Ravagers are also obviously out of meta. And what else is in there? Just one other team that I'm forgetting. Well, the Kree Minions I could put in here. Kree Minions are okay. I actually have one free spot. I could just do the Kree Minions. So let's see. I was going to go back. Now I don't know what I'm going to do with Quake because I think I'm going to put. I'm going to put Spider-Man in here. Actually, no, I'm not. I don't know what to do with Spider-Man. I kind of like this because there's 2 Raiders and 2 Striker. I suppose that I could put Spider-Man in here and change him to Raider. I think I've already done that with the ISO. But I'm not sure. I mean, Spider-Man for me is he's a Gear Tier 14. He's got max abilities. He's got level 4 T1 ISO. So I need to find a spot for him to get use out of his power level. So I guess I am going to stick him in here for now. And he's got synergy obviously with Miles, so I guess he makes more sense than Quake does. I think Quake should be a young Avenger. Or like Stature. Like, there needs to be better development for this young Avengers team. I'd be fine with Sam Alexander. I'd be fine with getting to see Nova. Or if they went like Spider-Gwen and did like a Web Warriors that also were young Avengers, some of them. That would be also very, very cool. So what was I looking for? And then Spider-Man's fine on the end since he's got the dodge. This will probably actually work fine. The only way, actually, I'm gonna switch it back. And the only reason that is because Quake being on this team lowers the average power level, and I might get a better matchup out of it. But I still need to find a spot for Spider-Man. So this isn't ideal. I don't know if this is gonna stay. I guess I could take Gamora out of there. Actually, maybe that's what I should do. Actually, I can cancel this. What I will do is put Spider-Man in here. And then I'm actually gonna do. Actually, that's fine. Damn it. I don't mind Spider-Man being on the end in this because he's got dodge. And then she's got some, yeah, hero brawler. So yeah, Gamora's fine on this team. Yeah, or maybe I should move Ms. Marvel back. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll drop Gamora. No, I'll tell you why I don't like this, because my America Chavez and Squirrel Girl are too low that if I put Ms. Marvel on here too, it's not going to balance out right. It's not going to win as much. So this isn't ideal, but this is just what I got to do for now. Where's Gamora? All right, so here's what I think makes sense for the game developers to do. I think it makes sense for Gamora and Nebula to join Black Order. I just think that'd be interesting. Um, I think Gamora and Nebula have a little bit of synergy with Thanos, so already it makes sense thematically since they're like daughters of Thanos. But yeah, so Ms. Marvel would make more sense here, but because of the limited resources that I've put in America and Squirrel Girl, this just doesn't quite work yet. So I actually put Gamora on here to bring down the power level average and should probably get better matchups out of that. We'll see how this one works going forward. The synergy between the two Spider-Men might offset the extra power that Spider-Man's providing to kind of shift that. Squirrel Girl, I think, does have an early heal that helps. So she doesn't necessarily need the high power level to be mildly effective, but yeah, just that right side of this team needs some work. And Gamora, I don't really know exactly where she fits in right now. What else was I going to change? Oh yeah, so where's my Ms. Marvel right now? Did I put her back in Inhumans? No, but I am going to do that. Not sure if this is the ideal placement or not. Probably not, actually. I'm going to change this up a little bit. That's better. Not that the other one wasn't working. I don't think that the placement matters for me all that much here because, yeah, this works. I like this. So does that impact the order? Probably does a little bit. Probably move them up above Uncanny. So the reason I did it this way is Yo-Yo's got dodge. Ms. Marvel's got taunt. So I kind of want to pull the action away from Karnak. So here, when Ms. Marvel taunts. Crystal will take some of any area damage, and because she's 6 red stars, she can take it. She's got high health, and she's got that second wind, which I really like. I really like her kit. Honestly, I think she's the most underrated raider out there, especially with high red stars. For war, she can pull all the counters off of a team. I think that's very, very valuable. And then it works out really well against Black Order because she pulls. I'm sorry, pull. She can get rid of on all 5 characters in war all 3 of the deflects. So she can basically wipe that out with her special. So I just think that's incredibly valuable just by itself. If I had to upgrade one T4 ability, maybe that would be it, even though it doesn't do the damage. Maybe not. Maybe not with ISO. I take that back. I don't remember what her passive is. Probably her passive with something with that second wind probably makes more sense. But yeah, so I'm basically pulling all the damage away from Karnak. I think this is probably the ideal placement. Typically, I guess the computer kind of goes for the guy in the middle, so it makes sense, I guess, to kind of have Black Bolt there. So this works a little bit better. Again, I need to level up Electro and Swarm. It's probably something I'll do early this week. All right, so I got one save slot. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to use that. So I am trying to take advantage of all 30 since they give you limited spots. So I'll be adding one more, but probably going to go through the next blitz and just see what makes sense with who I've got left over, which will be easier to see when I go through my next blitz, which I think is about in 20 minutes. So I'm probably going to flip over and do some real-time arena and then come back to that. Looks like I still got, I guess I got a half an hour, but in 10 minutes, the server is going to reset for the day. And the Bishop event will be over. So again, still, in 10 minutes. I'm pretty happy with that. Almost 27 million. That'll be a personal best for me. And it should be good enough for 2 to 3%. I know people are probably going pretty hard on Bishop, but yeah, it should be fine. Even if I get the 45, I think as long as my alliance gets this Bishop one, I think it's all going to even out, and I think I'll be able to get a 5-star if I get 2 to 3% on the next Bishop. So as long as I get 2 to 3% on one of them, I should be fine. Again, wailed kind of on Bishop and Iceman just because I got the red stars. And I'm kind of glad I did, especially since I'm struggling so bad with Jubilee. Maybe my luck just ran out. But again, I think that probably people were all trying to get red stars on Jubilee. I think it probably, it's all proprietary. I don't know exactly how it works, but I think that I don't remember when I opened my orbs up, but maybe I waited, and that, like, all the whales that were opening as soon as that stuff went live, they were probably using some Elite Fives and some Elite Sixes, and I think they just threw off all the ratios. I've opened probably 2 dozen red orbs, and I've only gotten a 2 red star. I haven't even gotten like multiple 2 red stars. I think I've only gotten her once, and about 20 red star orbs, and I think I've opened at least 2 Elite 4s and 1 Elite 5, maybe one more of both of those, and I didn't get her. I did get 5 red star long shot, which he was going to be one of my next upgrades anyway. So I got him over Jubilee, which isn't a terrible thing if you think about it that way. But I was looking to get Jubilee just to kind of keep that team all balanced out. But I guess it was just a trade-off. I got long shot now instead of Jubilee, and now I can get Jubilee down the road. That also freed me up to get the 5 red stars on Hawkeye. So it didn't really go the way I wanted it to, but even if I don't remember how long between the availability of her being in the Elite store, but I can always just add to Jubilee later. I think this Astonishing X-Men team's not going to be like the #1 priority for me right now. I'm looking to get into Dark Dimension 4, finish my timed run for Dark Dimension 3, and they're probably for after that. But I have wailed on them probably harder than I needed to, or that I should have, but whatever. It's all going to work out. Again, I don't love that they're showing participation here. There are some people, like especially Weapon is a big free-to-play guy. There's a couple other guys that are free-to-play. I'm not sure what Destroyer's doing. He's probably doing what I was doing and isn't going to open them up until the end, but I just decided that I'd open some up. I was trying to get some gold. And yeah, I'll be spending some more. What's that say? Elektra just got excited like a schoolgirl. Oh, because I got 6 red stars for Jubilee? Damn. I want that shit. What's just happened here? So yeah, I'm always, probably in the top 5 or 6 for my alliance, but I don't know. I mean, this shows that, I showed you today I spent 1,000 power cores because I had them. And I was trying to get red stars, and I know that wasn't probably the best purchase I could make, but Jubilee's driving a lot of these decisions right now. So yeah, I don't know. I would really like to get at least 4 red stars on her, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so while we're waiting for Bishop's event to end and for my Blitz energy to reset, I'm just going to do some some real-time arena and just try to accomplish some objectives. Let's actually go back real quick. It looks like I already got most of my daily objectives. I was playing a little bit this morning. So yeah, using Daredevil, Elektra, and then some skill Mystic. So this would be a really good Shadowland objective set support. So the team that comes to mind for this set of objectives that I've kind of put together, and this is where I like real-time arena, and then I feel like there are people that don't fully understand what this mode's intended for. In my theory, it's intended for Theorycraft and for helping us develop these hybrid teams, not for knockouts, which is, I think, why they changed those objectives. And I know that rubbed some people the wrong way, but I don't think that that's really what it's intended for. What I think that they're probably going to do is with leagues and real-time arena. So down here it says leagues coming soon. I think that they're probably going to do some kind of knockout event related to leagues, which I actually think will be a ton of fun. So I think that a lot of the envoys, really all of them. I'm kind of behind a couple of videos on Valley Flying and Reminex, but I mean, I watch OMG every day. Normally, I watch Valley Flying too. I've been catching up on Tana, and I've kind of fallen behind on Dutch Rudder and Casino. But I watch all those guys almost every video that they create, and especially the ones that are directly tied to the Envoy program are kind of all upset about RTA. I think that it probably launched a little bit early. I don't think that they've done a very good job. Scopely has done a very good job of communicating kind of what this game mode's for. I still think they're kind of trying to test it all out, and they're kind of having us beta test everything rather than doing some behind the scenes beta testing and coming up with the right product before they go live with it. So yeah, I kind of understand the frustration. I mean, they're kind of still ironing out the reward system for all this stuff, and I've been buying this premium pass just because I think the Gear Tier 15s that are at the end of the battle pass are worth the $20 once you get in the back half, starting right here, starting with 55, getting those Gear Tier 15 pieces, Gear Tier 14s, but there's a lot of 15s in the battle pass on this top row. You get some regular, but again, I just think that if these were offered through the store for $20, I think it would be an easy decision. I know people that are free to play don't want to do that. That's fine. But there are some good rewards in here for late game players that just make sense. Like, eventually, I would kind of like it where if the only money I was spending on this game every month was just in this battle pass, but or less. I spent a lot on character shards. I'm probably going to try to scale that back. Really, other than that, I don't really buy gear. The only exception is and the only exception is when the superior unique gear, when they do sales for that, like they did with Luminium after the Jubilee launch, and they did yesterday. It's probably still up, but I bought both the offers for the superior unique gear super draft. Got 40 quantum energy, which I was hoping to get some alien spores in there, but I just think that that's so good of a value right now. That's not available anywhere in the game. It's kind of wallet farmable. I don't know that they necessarily have any immediate plans to make that available through a campaign. It would really make sense somewhere down the line as part of Doom raids, but we'll see how they do that. We also have some ISO Tier 2 is going to eventually come out. I think maybe they've mentioned that. If not, I'm just anticipating that. So, I think there's going to be some interesting stuff when that happens too. But anyway, yeah. So, I mean, I've kind of talked about my long-range plan today. But anyway, I'm just going to knock out some of these. Just reset. Oh, well, I probably could have gotten the knockouts from yesterday done, but I don't think there was much of a reward for that. So these are actually more fun anyway. So I'm not really worrying about the placement here. And then, is there another character? Guess Electra. I'm going to do another Guardian. We'll see what kind of matchup this provides. This is where I feel like they intend for you to use your objective matchups. I think that's a problem with some of the matchmaking. Like, I think this is probably going to get a pretty good matchup because I'm using the pieces they want you to use. But if you use like a high-level team that's not really using any objectives, you can get some very funky matchups. So like here, this matchup's fine. But if I was using just my straight 5 strongest characters, it's going to be a weird matchup, I guarantee you. They just need to fine tune this a little bit. But yeah, that's why I just don't think that the average player just understands what's going on, and they just need to do some better communication. Placement might have been off. I probably should have put Groot in the middle. Fuck. Didn't even fucking get a turn. What is going on? That was bullshit. I think they all went before I did. Which is kind of weird, because, what the fuck, man? This is just... Oh, this didn't really go very well. But the matchmaking was even by the power level. I don't think that I should have gotten taken out that early like that. I don't know who had the speed there that was so crazy. But I know Shatterstar and Longshot both have decent speed, so that pisses me off a little bit. Just flipping this to auto. This was a waste of time to begin with. I wish that there was one or two things that they'd do. Either you drop in with auto and have to turn it off, or there's like an abandon button, or I don't know. Like that 2-minute counter at the beginning is way too long, even psychologically. It should be 20 seconds at the most. If you can't get loaded in those 20 seconds, maybe they should do it 30 seconds, but yeah, it's too long of a wait. 2 minutes is too long, or 2.5 minutes, I guess, is what they give you. So yeah, that was a waste of time. Only got two. Didn't really get to use any abilities. I didn't get to use my X Factor at all there. What the fuck was that about? I'm gonna try that again, see if I have similar results. Just realized my music stopped playing. What Darth Lamb's talking about, I'm hoping happens to me, and then once I get through the cosmic stuff, it's just so easy. I think I brought up the right people for global, though. I think that they kind of factored in Sinister, and so I need to do something with Shatterstar. This is stupid. I'm gonna mess that up. That went better. something real quick. Why that went off? Nothing there. Guess it was just maybe that's just previewed. Oh, that's nice. No, I guess that's what it was before. I thought they increased these, but it doesn't look like it. I guess 2.4 is what I was getting the last time, which is nice. That'll, help me get. It'll probably help me get Hawkeye up to level 80. I'll get Cap there during the week, so that'll be cool. What I wanted to look at was see if this is 12 minutes. Again, it's not super exciting from here on out. I'm not going to be talking as much, just going to be playing. So I'm just going to keep kind of working away at these objectives for right now until I can go to do another blitz run. Probably do another blitz run, and then after I'm done with that and kind of circle it back to my save squads and see if I want to make any changes, I'll probably stop my stream after that. This one's going to be really tough anyway. I'm not going to win this one. I don't even know who to go after. I didn't see what the power level was on this, but I mean, Black Bolt could take out my whole team by himself, probably. I'm just flipping it to auto. It's not really worth wasting any more time on. Yeah, I mean, that's about where my Black Bolt is. When I get, it's not even as good as my Black Bolt. Because I'm about ready to get 7th star, and mine will be higher than that. I think this is just a function of, since all his other Inhumans were so much lower than that Black Bolt, it kind of pulled his power level down. That's where I need to be careful about how I do that going forward. I think that's more of kind of like a mid to late game strategy, but again, I kind of went narrower. Now I need to kind of go flatter. You keep kind of going silo to spread. I don't know what the right terminology is, but yeah, I've got like a lot of level 55 characters that I need to take up to level 60 so that I can maximize their abilities, get all their abilities to level 6 and their passives to level 4. And then there are a couple minions that I still need to get max stars on, and then maybe when I do that, maybe I concentrate on a couple of them. So that's kind of what my plan is for this full year, is to kind of go narrow at the 14 and 15 gear tier level, and then below that go wide. So kind of have both of those strategies going on at the same time. I think I did the same thing as Zeit. Yeah, the first two really of most of those weren't really that hard. First two Cosmic weren't really that hard. The first two City weren't really that hard. City in general wasn't really that bad. I got through almost the entire thing with only 4 City characters, so I should breeze through that the next time I get there. Really, I just have to get through Global. Then it's about maybe like a 1 to 2 week process for Cosmic and City. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. It'll depend on who I continue to take up from here, how easy that's going to be. We can look at that here in a minute. Actually, let's flip over and I'll talk about that real quick. Actually, let's see if... I just thought maybe the results for Bishop were in already. I do kind of like that they're doing this at the end now. I think they did it at the beginning. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they always do this and I'm just not really paying attention, but kind of that last ditch push. I didn't need it, but I like it. And if it's something new, I'm glad that they added it. And if it's something that they've always done and I don't pay attention to, then glad they continue to do it. So I'm waiting right now, another 6 minutes I'm trying to kill. So I'll talk about my Dark Dimension. Well, actually, it's kind of a mess. But, so really I'm using these top 3 teams right now. Although I didn't use Minerva yesterday, I guess, or today. But yeah, those are kind of the 3 that I'm using, and then kind of also this Wave 1 Avengers team. Kind of the 4, so I kind of have 2. Well, I guess I can look at it a different way. Kind of have 2 global. I think I changed up my favorites too much. Yesterday I had a much clearer picture. If you go watch the live stream from yesterday, it's a little bit clearer. But yeah, I mean, I guess we looked at this already. So yeah, in global, I'm Wave 1 Avengers, kind of a mutant hybrid team. Yeah, I don't remember where I was going with all that. I mean, the one benefit that I have going through Dark Dimension 3 right now, I think I've probably got a couple more Gear Tier 14s than probably most people have. I know that, I think I asked another guy when he finished it the second time, I asked him how many total 14s he had, and I think he only said he had 17, which is closer to what my Dark Dimension 4 strategy's going to be. I'm going to kind of try to keep it more toward the minimum rather than kind of wide, but you know, ideally I think it'd be good to have about 30, you know, 2 global teams, 2 city teams, or 2 cosmic teams, and 2 city teams. You know, that's kind of where that 30 number comes from too. But really, in that the 30 that I was showing earlier was kind of two global teams, 2 cosmic teams, and 1 city team. Kind of like as what's the minimum, I think. Like, I think if you're a new player, you know, you kind of got to concentrate a little bit on every character in the beginning. Then after that, I think if you kind of do what I did and, you know, kind of just look at what the matrix looks like, just, you know, so looking at origin and territory, so, you know, kind of doing a matrix or a graph of, you know, the 3 territories and the 5 origins, and kind of seeing where your characters fit into that. I'm kind of going a little bit deeper than that now at this point in my hybrid teams. You know, I'm really kind of looking at what the trait is. So, you know, like, what protector am I going to go for? So, like, my global protector, I decided to go with Captain America over Colossus and Yo-Yo. I like both Colossus and Yo-Yo. But I'm going to go with Cap, at least for my first wave. But then, you know, then there's, so I kind of have my global protectors all figured out. It's going to be one of those 3, if not all of those 3. So I'm kind of looking at it, you know, that granular, trying to come up with some different theory crafting. And, you know, I think that synergy counter or whatever this is called. I think I like that you can kind of visually see the synergy. I'm glad that they added that. It's been a little while since they added that, but I always really liked that feature. So yeah, when I was kind of working on kind of the end of my Dark Dimension 3 strategy, trying to figure out, who I wanted to bring up kind of for my second run through, and when I was bringing up Sinister, it just seemed like the synergy would work really well. Yeah, this team works really well. Some of the time I'd flip in Wolverine, who I took up the gear tier 14. He was my first mutant. Don't really regret that, but I'm not going to do that now just because he's cheap. I think mutants are more at a premium for Dark Dimension 4. Everything's kind of at a premium, but especially mutants. So yeah, I like that they added that. How much time I got left? 1 minute. So we're going to do one more of these battles. I don't think I crossed anything off yet. Why do I have Rocket in here? Oh, Rocket must be a daily. Okay. Oh, he's just dying way too quick. I'm not really sure. I don't know if I just have them kind of positioned wrong, but I feel like that my Shatterstar's been dying way too easily. Maybe it's just not a very good synergy team. Now, freaking Groot having needless resurrections. Just trying to finish that one off. I mean, I guess that wasn't the best matchmaking. Or no, I even was more powerful. Yeah, I don't know. They just took out Shatterstar too early and just fell apart from there. I don't know why. I feel like that should have matched up better. I guess that he had a really powerful Hela. I wasn't paying super close attention to that. I probably would have tried to take out Hela instead of Thor. Yeah, whatever. See, got a lot of that was an efficient thing. I don't know if you saw all those objectives, but at least working on a ton of objectives. Like that's what I try to do. Is how efficiently can I finish these off? I just started yesterday. The server or whatever reset on Friday, but I hadn't started playing really until Saturday. I just played this for maybe like a half an hour yesterday, and got all my dailies and got some good progress on the weeklies. I think you can pretty much knock this out by midweek if you're playing maybe a half an hour a day. But yeah, I like kind of finishing by midweek. Then I don't have to worry about it. And I actually like finishing. You don't have to do every objective, but if you do every objective, you're probably going to finish right in, maybe even before the third week's over, or at like the end of the third week. So if you do this one kind of religiously, then you can kind of have a week off, which is kind of nice. I've kind of enjoyed that. And then you kind of come back in to just do a couple matches for daily objectives, maybe to get some extra ions, but then you kind of can ignore this game mode for a week and kind of give yourself a break. So I kind of like doing that. Let's see, what I don't know what's so Merc Mayhem, yeah, just for the payday event. I'm glad they're doing the payday event. You know, I think they do the payday event every month, but I don't think they do the Catalyst one, or no, I don't think they do the, maybe they do the Catalyst one. So they do, I think maybe they do the hand, no, yeah, they do the hand event, the Catalyst one, I think once a month, but they need to do like two at the same time. Like they need to do the ability, building materials. They need to do that more often. I think they do that every month, every other month, and they should do it every month. And then there's another event that I can't remember that they should be doing every month. The Chaos Theory. I don't know if they do the Chaos Theory every month or not, but they need to, the awards in Chaos Theory need to be updated. I don't think they've been updated for a while, and I don't think that they are, they don't make sense anymore. I mean, after you get your first time bonuses, I think out of the tier 7 rewards for the promo credits, you don't even get enough for a 5 red star character. I feel like you should be able to do that at minimum. So maybe it's like, maybe you net 36 to 40, something in that range per the event. I think it should be closer to 50, and then the gold should probably be like in the 2 dozen range. So I feel like through the event, somebody that's in the tier 7 should be able to get a gold character at least every 6 months. I just think that seems reasonable. I think you should be able to get a 5 red star every month. I think you should be able to get a gold star every 6 months. So I think that I think you should get about 50 or 60 silver credits and 20 to 30 gold credits per each token for those events. I'm sorry, not per each token, in total. So yeah, I mean, I think that that's one thing that's, there are a lot of bottlenecks, and there's enough with gear that I feel like that they need to loosen some of these other restrictions. They need to loosen the gear tier 13 and 14 unique restriction. They probably need to add those to Doom node raids. Doom campaign nodes, and I mean, maybe there's something in the levels for the next iteration of ISO that'll add some stuff that's more interesting, but probably not. It seems like that stuff will be kind of basic, but I don't know. There's plenty that they can do with ISO. Like, that was a good data mode, or that good game mode that was well thought out and everything. And I think that there's still some stuff coming down the pike for that in the near future. Like, I think we'll probably see the second tier of ISO before the end of the year. I have no idea how long that kind of stuff takes to develop, but I think that's one of kind of the natural progressions next. And then there's going to be a change. There's going to be some kind of change to real-time arena. They're going to kind of figure that out here hopefully soon, because I know that people are getting irritated. I don't really care as much. I'm not very passionate about that game mode one way or the other. I think it'll work out long term once they kind of figure out the leagues. And then what's the other thing? War. I think they're going to maybe change the boosts for War. If you look, for a long time in War, they've had this upgrade section. There's nothing there. Here, so it says up at the top, says upgrade coming soon. So, my alliance is maxed out on Stark Tech. It would be really nice if Stark Tech came back into play somehow. And I don't know. There's something here that hopefully they've been working on that's upgrade soon. It's been coming soon for a long time. We'll see what happens. I'd also like to see some more campaigns. They need to release more campaigns and make some of these bottlenecks go away. We just got bottleneck on bottleneck on bottleneck, and I feel like the way I kind of build my roster, I'm kind of able to weather that pretty well, but I don't know. I mean, I know that there are some people that the way they're trying to play, it's really impeding their progress, but I don't really play the game that way. I wish that gold was better. I mean, there was a stretch where I was not getting anything but the minimum out of gold orbs for a long time. I don't know what the secret is there, but I was not doing the right thing. So I still got a lot of this lunar stuff to open up. That's all that's in there. Just looking to see if there's any credits I could spend. Need to level up Electro. Right now, this is a big bottleneck for me. I need 190 of these for Phoenix, or probably for somebody else. Didn't really get very good drops for my Dark Dimension 3 rewards. Didn't really get enough of these. Really in every... I mean, I guess if you look at Gear Tier 14, there are 4 pieces, and they're only going to give you 3 of the 4. So this is the mutant piece I need. For bio, I need the little MRI things. But all right, so I'm going to go through and knock these out super quick. This is why I love SimBlitz with having a big roster. 11 seconds. So I can actually use this. Normally I wouldn't be able to use this, but since it's the very first one, I'll be able to use it. But yeah, I like SimBlitz a lot because I can go in and knock these rewards out super fast, or milestones. Really don't even have to look for the first several. I must just be just on the outskirts of my timer. I'm gonna wait a second. But yeah, I mean this blue one, but even on the red star orb one, like I can blow through this super fast. All right. Again, because of the way that I've constructed my save squads, I know that these are high percentage win teams, and for these early tiers, it doesn't really matter who I'm fighting. So Sim is just super nice for people with big rosters. I love this. I mean, you can argue that it gives us a unfair competitive advantage, but whatever. We've been playing the game a lot longer. We've probably put more money into the game than new players have. I think it kind of sucks that we're all in the same bucket, we're all in the same pool for this stuff, but whatever. You know what? I already maxed this one out. Rookie move. I was thinking it was 400,000, but this one's only 200,000. So there, I mean, I got all those rewards. It's not a ton of gold out of that. Not really a ton of anything that I need. I don't even really need these arena credits all that bad. Although I am working on Electro and I'm working on Domino to some extent. So those credits still have value to me. But I should have stopped a little bit earlier than that, then flipped over to this Red Star one. I also wasn't paying attention. I hope I didn't use any cores. Come back. So I won't be using the first 4 because I don't have the cores or the energy. I should be able to use the rest of this stuff. Looks like I gotta chill out for a minute. So this is coming at a good time because I really want to get some red stars on Jubilee. Okay. Guess probably because I was talking at the beginning. This isn't spaced out super well if I was on like a timer. Just trying to figure out who I've used already. So 5 will be where I start now, since I moved those others up from the bottom. I'm unfortunately gonna have to check all these. Okay, I think I'm done, but I'm not. Oh, no. No, I think I am. Yeah. Alright, so all I'm gonna do now is see who I missed. And then this is, maybe people that would go onto my 30th team. I might just keep it vacant for right now. We'll see who's left over. So Quake's left over. Storm's left over. Yondu. Wish Yondu could use a rework. So could Nebula. Drax. So don't really need Drax and Heimdall. Alright, so I can use... Actually, I'd probably rather use Drax. This could be interesting, maybe. Vision, Loki. Maybe I will use Heimdall then. So yeah, I could bring Sif in here. I could bring Bullseye in there, and that would kind of be a Asgardians Merc mashup. Wouldn't mind using Quake and Storm. I'm not really sure how to use them. See who else is in here. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to put Quake back on the Shield team. Okay. Let's try this. I can't remember where everybody is. Oh, maybe not too bad. Alright, we'll use this and see if it wins. Right now I'm going to use that as my last save squad. Wasn't too bad. Yeah, not too bad. We'll leave that for now. Let's see where that falls. Yeah, so this wasn't terrible. So yeah, I've been looking for ways to kind of creatively use my defenders, my guardians, my Wakandans, and my Asgardians, because all of those teams are kind of slowly falling out of meta, especially for me, with the way that I've kind of built my roster. So this doesn't work too bad. Yeah, we'll leave that for now. Might be. That's all. That's a pretty level team. That might work out all right, to be honest. I don't think I've tried that combination yet. Not ideal, but I think that probably uses the pieces that I've got left. So let's see who the stragglers are now. I know Storm and Quake are in there. Storm might just be odd man out. She uses adamantium, and adamantium I feel like is one of the premium materials. So maybe I can go toss her in someplace else. Yondu, I don't really care about. I'll just just kind of seeing who's left. Probably no one else I really care about. Mark Riot Guard. Thought I used my mercenary stuff. Maybe I missed a team. Yeah, I missed a team, so I'll have to go back and just change that one that I just put in there because they're already using Killmonger and Bullseye. So I'm doing this just for right now, just to get some points here. And then let's see. So then I gotta go back and change the team I just created because it would be double using people that I don't want to double use. So right now I just wasn't even paying attention. So right now I'm double using Bullseye, double using Killmonger. I don't want to do that. So these two need to go. So then it was Storm, and I'm just going to plug somebody in for the moment. Hand Sentry, if I can find him. Just trying to think if there's somebody better. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't love that one. But let's see who else. See if that kind of carried everybody. I don't know that I'll be able to see. I think that's pretty much maximized. Quake. Yeah, I was going to move Quake. Maybe I even put Quake instead of Hand Sentry. Other than that, it's just minions. So that's, you know, pretty efficient use. I mean, I'd say that I was in a pretty good spot for going into the. Actually, I want to see if I can get that last milestone. Wish you could just filter on ones that aren't being used. Oh, maybe you can. No, available just means unlocked. Be nice if I could filter on, you know, ones that I could actually use still in Blitz that weren't timed out. So, I mean, this is where if you're willing to go the extra mile, you can kind of maximize your Blitz points a little bit better. So, just trying to win here. Doesn't have to be pretty. Nope. Fuck. Well, I'm not going to max that out until next time. That'll be another orb. That's another red star orb, so I'm not going to open those right now. I was thinking about opening those up real quick on tape, but I'll probably do that later. So for now, I'm going to put Quake in here. Come on. Oh, she's actually got a decent synergy. Where's the synergy coming from? I don't get how that helps everybody. Oh, I guess all the resistance to blind. This right here, that stealth is why Loki's useful. I just never really got that use out of him. So yeah, since there's a little bit of synergy, this actually is probably not going to be terrible. It's kind of a thunder and lightning team. Anyway, there are worse things I could do here. Yeah, I mean, I could probably move Quake to the shield team, maybe improve it a little bit. I don't know where Storm makes sense right now. She's kind of the odd man out. I mean, there's some other things that I could do to this team itself. I mean, I could go grab Yondu and Nebula. I mean, maybe they would work better. I don't know, but this is fine for now. And then I think that does it. So yeah, whenever my Dark Dimension 4 strategy and beyond kind of, I mentioned in my live stream on the 12th that, I kind of have a Dark Dimension 4 strategy that involves 18 characters versus 16. That's just kind of my special blend. And then, kind of expanding my look to 30 champs just to kind of what will make sense long term for those Doom raids, and then did some blitz, kind of showed you how I use my save squads. But eventually I'll have all that kind of figured out. Kind of just starting the timed run for Dark Dimension 3, so still a lot of decisions to be made. Anyway, you can find me on social. I've got a Twitter page that follows my product progress. It's at Cincy Spidey on Twitter. Also at Cincy Spidey for Instagram. Kind of take different screenshots. Kind of goes in synergy with the Twitter account. And then past live streams are available on my YouTube channel at Jason Ballas, on the Jason Ballas channel. Anyway, until next time, hopefully the rest of this lunar event goes well for everybody. Hopefully there's some good to come out of kind of the lessons they learned out of that, and then hopefully long term they fix or tweak some of these other game modes like RTA and maybe change up war a little bit. But I know that there are some people that are upset about the state of the game. I don't think it's perfect right now. I think it'll probably look better in 6 months than it does right now. So I still have a lot of confidence in Scopely. I think a lot of what they do is a lot better designed than what people give them credit for, and I'm in it for the long haul. Anyway, until next time, have a good one.